Surely you've heard of a 5-step plan before. You've probably also heard of a 12-step plan to deal with alcoholism or other drug-related treatments. But have you ever heard of a 39-step plan? No? Well, neither have I, because that sounds absolutely dreadful. Who would want to take that many steps just to try and deal with just about anything? So don't take the 39-step plan, take the shortcut. But wait, how does that pertain to this game? You'll find out shortly. Actually, it'll take quite a while, but you'll find out. Hiya folks, Fruit and Doggy here, getting back into the 39 steps. When we left off, somebody got murdered in the soup. The murder of the American spy suggests he wasn't talking hot air, but everything points to Hanny as the killer. Kind of gives away a little bit of the upcoming story, considering I didn't know he was considered the killer. Inadvertently and unfortunately, I think it gives away a little too much in those brief summaries. So I think I'll avoid those moving forward. I don't want to give away key plot points or upcoming twists. The poor, staring white face was more than I could bear. So I threw a towel over it. I staggered to a cupboard, found the brandy, and swallowed several mouthfuls. I needed to think. I had seen men die violently before. Indeed, I had killed a few myself in the Matabele War. This cold-blooded indoor business was different. My resolve. I am an ordinary Tortovello, not braver than other people, but I'd hate to see a good man down, and that long knife would not be the end of Scudder if I could play the game in his place. Well, actually it still would. And that is somewhat of an interesting handle, because how would you... You know, how would that... You feel like it seems like it would grab weird. His enemies had found him, and had taken the best way to make certain of his silence. Scudder had been in my rooms for 4 days, and his enemies must have reckoned that he had confided in me. Well, duh! I would be next to go. It might be that very night, or the next day, or the day after, but my number was up alright. Well, yeah, I mean, you're gonna kill him in your room. That means they have to know quite a lot. Few people knew me in England. I had no real pal who could come forward and swear to my character. Perhaps that was what those secret enemies were playing for. They were clever enough for anything, and an English prison was a good way of getting rid of me till after June 15th as a knife in my chest. If I told the whole story, and by any miracle was believed, I'd be playing their game. Carolitis would stay at home, which was what they wanted. At least to be one less person dead. Supposing I went out now and called in the police, or went to bed and let Paddock find the body and call them in the morning. The second one seems like it'd be a really weird choice. What kind of a story was I to tell about Scudder? The odds were 1,000 to 1 that I would be charged with the murder, and the circumstantial evidence was strong enough to hang me. Well, yeah, I would say so. Dead body in your house. This one's obviously not a suicide. Someone must have been searching for something. Perhaps for the pocketbook. Yeah, it's not like they used ID to check for, The knife had pinned Scudder to the floor. Ooh, that is pretty ghastly. So that's the knife. Oh, no, wait, what's this? A secondary knife? And then pocket change. Yes, it's all making sense now. These English coins. Oh, come on. The Life of Stonewall Jackson. Oh yeah, the book he was reading. Do your duty and leave the rest to Providence. Let us, too, trust that all is well and look beyond the storm, beyond the darkness, blood, and mourning of the present. The sunshine seemed less bright, the future dark with clouds and gloom death. Jackson is dead! Dead and gone like a common everyday mortal? Who could supply his place? Ah, so that's all they want you to get from it. I guess. Can't you read a considerable amount more? Whatever. I guess that's the important part of it. What am I missing that's obvious? It's not the blood. Nothing in the waistcoat pocket. Something was there, I guess. A pack of smokes? Yep. So that was the first one. Oh, there's glowing stuff right here. Medal of Honor? Let's see, that's your father, you as a boy, and good old Betsy. I don't know the dog's name. Show the text. Dear Peter, was it Samuel Johnson who wrote, "When you are tired of London, you are tired of life"? No, so he's tired of life, I guess. Well, my dear Peter, if so, then I am tired of life, for here I am in London, bored and at my wit's end. The city is noisy and chaotic, and I can't get any exercise. Why not? I'm not following why you can't exercise. I'm yet to meet a suitable lady to pass my time with. You're in London. I would think you would have plenty of women to choose from, though I have met a fair few unsuitable ones. No passing time with them, eh? My bets are paying off on the track, however, and my shares in the Rhodesian diamond mines continue to keep me dining in the capital's best restaurants, despite Paddock's continual insistence that I should dine at home and try his culinary skills. One can only hope that they are better than his valet's skills. Speak soon, dear friend, Richard Hannay. I mean, it's not like you can win every bet, but, you know, who am I to talk? I guess that would be everything there. And everything there. Well, he wasn't a very careful spy, I guess. He got whacked. There was no trace of Scudder's black book. Most likely the enemy had found it, but they had not found it on Scudder's body. Well, okay, I was gonna say, it just seems funny that he gets murdered only a few days after he went to so much trouble to cover up his own existence. But to be fair, he really hid in a very poor location. I mean, you would think putting some distance between your original starting point might be wise. Because if they were tracking him, why wouldn't they also have their antennas up for the other residents? It's like, wait, this guy doesn't have any friends. I'd come to a decision. I must vanish somehow, and keep vanished till the end of the second week in June. Then I must find a way to get in touch with the government people and tell them what Scudder had told me. Why then? So nothing... I mean, the spy already said himself that nothing could be done to protect the guy, even if they allowed the person to come and then had a bunch of agents around. It'd be completely worthless. I wish to heaven he had told me more, and that I had listened more carefully to what he had told me. I didn't take this whole people might die thing too seriously. There is a big risk that, even if I weathered the other dangers, I would not be believed in the end. I must take my chance of that, and hope that something might happen which would confirm my tale in the eyes of the government. Well, what do you know? They did kill the guy. Guess you were right. I guess I'm just going to be going room to room, huh? To the study, to the bathroom, to the hallway, second hallway. Living room. Aha! Living room. Oh, actually, I'm going to be looking at that. My notion was to get off to some wild district where my Feldcraft would be of some use to me, for I would be like a trapped rat in a city. Especially if I stayed in the city. I consider that Scotland would be best, for my people were Scotch, and I could pass anywhere as an ordinary Scotsman. That's what you are! You are an ordinary Scotsman. I fixed on Galloway as the best place to go. It was the nearest wild part of Scotland, and from the look of the map, was not over thick with population. A naturalist's map. Oh, jeez. I mean, they used to really print like that, just so small and tight. Oh, I think that would have been really dreadful. Nothing worse than an Excel spreadsheet that is too compact and compartmentalized. It's an Excel spreadsheet. It's going to be compartmentalized, but too compact. How was I to make my way to St. Pancras train station? St. Pancras! I was pretty certain that Scudder's friends would be watching for me outside. And I will admit, it seems like the music of the game has really shot up. So if I'm talking louder, that's why. I'm trying to keep balanced. This puzzled me for a bit. Then I had an inspiration, on which I went to bed and slept for 2 troubled hours. Good idea! Sleeping! How inspiring! It's not like they'd be waiting for me to return. I mean, couldn't they just run to the cops themselves, made an anonymous tip? Waking up, I had a great revulsion of feeling and felt a God-forgotten fool. My inclination was to let things slide and trust to the British police taking a reasonable view of my case. But as I reviewed the situation, I could find no arguments to bring against my decision of the previous night. So with a wry mouth, I resolved to go with my plan. And with a loaf of rye bread, I began eating it with my mouth. I hunted out a well-used tweed suit, a pair of strong nailed boots, and a flannel shirt with a collar. Very meticulous about my outfit at this time. Into my pockets I stuffed a spare shirt, cloth cap, handkerchiefs, and a toothbrush. But will he bring material with which to shave himself? I took 50 pounds of it in sovereigns in a belt, which I had brought back from Rhodesia. Ew. I guess somebody wanted to clean up after themselves. How thoughtful. Hey, at least he's got a loo. Oh, I guess I can interact with that. My bad. Really? Going for gotta get that, you know, shaving done at this most crucial of junctures. Now came the next step out of my 39-step plan. Paddock used to arrive punctually at 7:30 and let himself in with a latchkey. But about 20 minutes to 7, as I knew from bitter experience, the milkman turned up with a great clatter of cans and deposited my share outside my door. That can-clattering milkman. On him, I staked all my chances. Why? He will clatter my cans for me. I went into the darkened smoking room, where I breakfasted off a whiskey and soda and some biscuits. Mmm, refreshing. Especially in the presence of a corpse. Cheers, mate. You sure you won't have any? Oh! By this time it was getting on for 6 o'clock. I put a pipe in my pocket and filled my pouch from the tobacco jar on the table by the fireplace. I mean, you gotta have your smokes. I mean, the other guy had his cigarettes. Gasp! The pocketbook! It seemed a good omen. To Scudder! Why?
Goodbye, old chap. I've got to do my best for you. Wish me well. Wherever you are.
Heaven, hell, some other place. But seriously, if you had done your best, he might not be dead now. Though I think he should have been able to either check the house or lock the door. I hung about in the hall waiting for the milkman without getting whacked. I was fairly choking to get out of doors. The last one was real. The fool had chosen this day of all to be late. But little did I know that the milkman too had been murdered. The fool! But anyways, I guess that's the end of that. What happened in this chapter? He freaked out, looked around, got some supplies, and hasn't even left yet. That seemed a little long-winded for nothing to happen, but I shouldn't complain too much. Wait, yes I should. It's my job! I complain! It's my shtick! But anyways, that's going to be all for now. I'll see you around later, folks. And as always, Fruit and Doggy. And you can come down with the music game